So what are we doing today then, Matt?
A few bits and bobs. Okay, classic TDV8. It's got a leaking inlet manifold.
We love it.
I thought it had a cracked inlet manifold, but it's just leaking. I hope it's just gaskets.
Yeah.
So
we're not going to know though until we take that off, are we?
But the signs, the first signs are it's just a leaking gasket, which would be really good. Anyway, quick breakdown of it.
Yeah.
3.6 TDV8, Ford engine, I believe, but that's by the by. They're renowned for it. The inlet manifold is also part of the rocker cover, as you can see up here, and it's all made of plastic. So over the time the heat gets to it, heats, cools, eventually it just goes brittle and cracks. This hasn't cracked yet, but the gasket inside, which is a little rubber gasket, does exactly the same, but eventually it stops being rubberized and goes hard. So all you have to do is remove every single thing you can see at the moment to get to these. I can't remember off the top of my head, just shed loads of little 10mm bolts all the way around the outside and underneath. You have to take the injectors out, take all the plenum and everything off the top, all the breather pipes, intercooler pipes, which are new because they were all split.
These are a thing, aren't they? These.
Yeah. If you get boost pressure issues or inlet manifold pressure issues, it's either going to be a cracked inlet manifold, most likely these. They last 5 minutes. Very easy to fix, not bad either.
Yeah.
20 quid a piece.
Yeah, 20, yeah.
So anyway, yeah, today we're just going to potter along and undo 5,000 electrical connectors.
Yeah.
Lots of little Jubilee clips and just have fun, really, isn't it? Eventually, we'll get this huge, great big plastic part off here with all the connectors and bits and bobs on it out of the way. That'll then expose us further down to where we can get to the injection and the injectors.
I think, what time is it? 3 o'clock, isn't it, on Saturday afternoon?
Yeah.
I think our plan is see how far we can go stripping it today.
Yeah.
I don't know how long a job this is to strip. I guess it depends on how well these clips and bolts and what have you are going to release.
Yeah. And how much luck we've going to have.
Yeah.
And I don't think we'll be going to the pub this week.
Again. When was the last time we went to the pub?
June last year.
Yeah, June the 6th.
Yeah. So there we are, we're going to crack on with this.
Yeah.
Tell by the enthusiasm in our voices that we're really excited about doing it.
But it has to be done.
Completely irrelevant, but you can actually see over there, look, the nice shiny new bolts from where the airbag exploded that day.
Oh, yeah.
We've replaced just the airbag. Kept the strut because it's got the self-adjusting dampers on it, hasn't it?
Yeah, this is the later L322, isn't it? And because it's the later one, it has something different within the airbag.
Active suspension.
Yeah,
And so
active suspension, that's it.
if you want to replace the struts, they're like 400 quid a corner. So I kept the strut and replaced the airbag.
And there is a video on that.
There we are. I'm going to carry on. Hang on a minute. I'm going to carry on now. I'm going to get my spanners and have fun.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Right, let's go.
Let's go.
So, I think, we've just sort of like taken the boost pipes off. We've only been in for a minute, and we think we need to take this off, the scuttle. You might not need to, but we are going to, aren't we?
Yeah.
Because it'll just mean more room for us. So.
Well, I do more miles per gallon anyway.
Yeah. So I think we'll take that off. I don't know how many bolts is that.
At the moment, yeah, it doesn't look like many, but
Well, there's probably 800 then.
there'll be hidden bolts.
Yeah.
And plastic bolts and bolts that shear off. And
Yeah.
ones with the cable in front of them, you can't get your ratchet on them.
Yeah.
And all this fun stuff.
Do you know, it's a love-hate thing, isn't it, with Range Rover? We both love this car. It's been one of those cars that it's just got everything that we need, and we enjoy it, and we don't use it enough, which is the downside to owning one. But yeah. I wouldn't necessarily buy one if you can't do jobs like this. Or if you got deep pockets, by all means, you go for it.
Yeah, you don't have to be wealthy to have one. You just have to be wealthy to keep one.
To keep it, yeah. I don't know, Eagle Eye viewers, if you've done a reg check, you'll probably know this is due for its MOT soon. So this is why.
Push the thingy down. So, cheers.
Yeah, we got it. Yeah. So this is why we're doing this now, because obviously we have an oil leak, and as far as we can see, that's the only thing that's wrong with it. Sorry?
It's the only outstanding thing.
Yeah, it's the only outstanding thing. So obviously we can't get this MOT'd with this oil leak.
Well, it's not a good thing anyway, is it?
Yeah, well, exactly. It's not a good thing. So. Yeah.
This is a bit of trial and error, this is. Finding out what's fitted to what.
I'll show the viewers down here. Give it a little. Yeah. Wiggling.
There you go, mate.
Right, I'm going to help him get this out, and then we'll come back in a bit. Okay, so we've gotten this out, and it's stinking. So I'm just going to clean all this before that goes back in, and some mud on the floor. Yeah, it's a bit rotten. So, I mean, I don't know if you can see anything in there. Probably not. Yeah. There's leaves, there's all sorts up there. So we're going to give that a clean, but obviously we've gotten it off.
Yeah, now we've gotten it off. It does actually separate. I didn't realise that.
Yeah.
So you got that part there separates from there, that's the cover for the pollen filter.
That's right, yeah.
But it also comes off there, look.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not entirely sure how. I didn't want to get too involved because of
Yeah, we'll just take the lot out.
old plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now this is out,
Yeah.
it's freed up a lot of space, hasn't it?
Yeah. Go over here. Obviously, you can see where it would have been. There. And it'll give us room, if anything, just to like try and hold the hoses out of the way or whatever, isn't it?
Yeah, and get into injector number 8,
Yeah.
we already know
We already know Injector 8.
that's the comedy act.
Yeah.
I'm also quite convinced I need to do this side as well.
Yeah, we think it's both sides. And we have bought the gaskets for both sides, haven't we?
Yep. But I can see it's wet down here.
Yeah.
So
I mean, the amount of oil that is dripping,
yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised, but it is more over on the gearbox side, isn't it?
passenger side,
Passenger side.
But when you have to strip so much down to do it, you might as well just
Might as well.
do both of them.
Yeah. Yay! Range Rover, yay! Right, we'll be back in probably
Another 5 minutes.
5 minutes time. What time? How long have we been? It's like 10 minutes, isn't it?
Yeah. Just to quantify on what I did say earlier, there's a Ford badge.
Oh, that's a lot.
So it is, I did think it was a Ford engine.
Yeah.
There we go, little Ford badge on there. Look.
Yeah. If only this hadn't happened now.
It's keeping me busy.
Right, back in 10.
Right, we've taken the rest of the battery tray out, and the battery obviously, because that was taking up a lot of space. We already know, history taught us and other people have said that cylinder 8, the injector is a nightmare to get to, so that had to come out. No two ways. If you're going to do it yourself, just beware. You've got 3 10 mils down there, 2 plastic 10 mils up here, and then there's 2 T25, I think, Torx bits, which would be there. And then the battery cable, it loops around the battery cable. It's straightforward enough.
Yeah. There's a pattern to it.
Yeah, it's just a huge great lump of plastic.
Yeah.
And yeah, with battery out gives you loads of space, loads of access, and you need it because we've unplugged all the wiring loom off of the injectors, the back of the injector bar and everything else, which is all here. On this side, you've got this wire and it goes round the back and underneath the back of where the cam sits, a cam carrier.
Yeah.
Probably is a cam position sensor, I don't know, to be fair. But in the end, I knelt on top of the engine, reached round behind it to get to it.
Yeah, it wasn't easy, was it?
It was very difficult, that's the word, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very difficult.
Very. If somebody had walked in at that point.
Well, they'd have seen my backside hanging out of my jeans and my jumper up around my ears and me swearing a little bit. But anyway, that's what we're up to. So next up, we've got to take the pipes off the inlet.
I should say, this is completely free now, isn't it?
Yeah, that's free of...
This is...
That's now out of the way enough for
the
us.
electrics for the... Well,
Top
probably
end.
top end, yeah.
Yeah, so we can now work on getting this off. So what we need to do is take off these induction pipes around the place. There's one there, one there, one there, one there. Then there's lots of little bolts holding things down, Torx bits. There's classic Land Rover as well, isn't it? One item, 3 different things holding it down. So you've got Torx bits, plastic nuts and 10mm bolts.
Yeah, yeah.
Class. Anyway, not paid enough to whinge, am I? Get on with it.
So we're going to take the rest of these pipes and brackets and whatever off. And then we'll come back once that's done.
Listen to me sniff.
We have taken the spatchcock chicken off the top. Yeah, looks like a spatchcock chicken, doesn't it?
It does. It has all the throttle bodies, the EGR inlets and everything else like that.
Yeah, here's our EGRs.
It's the inlets for the EGR. If you're that kind of person, when you put them back on, you can actually put a blanking plate over there. If you were that sort of person.
If you were like
and
that.
then you'd need to code it out as well, though.
Oh yes, and you know, if you've got one of those
what are they called?
What are they called?
Gap by ID.
Yeah, them gap computers.
Anyway, that's enough of that. So we've exposed everything under the engine bay. Well, not everything, a lot more.
A lot more.
So we've got this, again, spatchcock-esque style wiring loom.
Yeah.
Now, I'm always open to admitting things. Attached to there is a vacuum pipe which comes up and over the top of the spatchcock.
Yeah.
Whilst moving the spatchcock, I didn't realise just how brittle that's got, and I broke it in 3 different places, so I need to replace that.
Yeah.
But it sort of comes in a shape like that, goes along past the oil filter, and then joins back in with the main vacuum setup down here. But obviously for the moment it doesn't, because it's just broke indeed. What else have we done?
Well, tied them pipes up out there.
Yeah, cable tied them up there, and
Yeah.
we undone the, I think it's a high pressure for the aircon. Bracket holds that up. It was just in the way over there.
Yeah.
The 2 EGRs are inlet pipes, as you see, we had to take off there because it just held it in too tightly. You couldn't wiggle it out.
Yeah.
But as you can see, it's very nice and clean. And
Yeah.
actually, that is clean.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking it, but for the value on a V8 diesel, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
But we should just, I think we should probably just keep unbolting things now. This is good fun.
Yeah, we're going to keep on unbolting. What's next?
You're probably looking at the injectors, I think.
Yeah, I would say. But I think we're just gonna see how we go now, popping these injectors out and.
Yeah, I mean, time's getting along a bit, so we don't want to be pushing ourselves stupidly, but.
Yeah. I mean, it is something like 5 o'clock, but we have had a tea break in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll just potter along, undoing things, make sure they wiggle out. If not, pursue a different route.
Yeah. Okay. Right, so we're, I don't know, a couple hours in now, I suppose. And we have taken out injectors 5, 6, 7, and 8. So, how did we get out injector 8?
I waved my magic wand. No. Right, injector 8 sits in there. When it comes out, it hits the edge of this piece of bulkhead. It doesn't come out. I already knew about this, to be fair, so I've cheated and worked it out myself. But all you have to do is take all the engine covers underneath off and jack up on the edge of the diff, and it will actually lift this engine up on its mount just enough to wiggle out past here. It's tight and unnecessary, but it does come out. Putting it back in is going to be another story.
Yeah.
But we'll come to that when we come to it.
Yeah. We haven't done the other side yet, but that's going to be a little easier, I think, isn't it?
I think it's going to be harder, but...
You do?
Yeah, we'll see.
Oh.
But this side as well, we had to take the fuel filter off in the end because it was just getting in the way. And like injector 5, there you couldn't get to the bolts, you couldn't get to the clip to hold the leak-off pipe off. It was just not funny.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we're going to take the rest of the injectors out now, or if we're going to take this rocker cover off this side.
I don't know, really. I mean, do we just, is it a case of just pull it up, or
No,
is there something holding it in?
There's a row of bolts down there, there's
Okay.
a row of bolts there, there's a row of bolts on top. The bracket up here, which holds this pipe on, needs to come off, the fuel pipe there. And that'll be about it, really. Oh, there's a vacuum pipe on the back by the looks of it, look.
Okay.
Or we can just crack on the other side and then...
I think let's pull out all the injectors together, so we've got them all labelled up, and then we can work on
come
down.
back to this one afterwards.
Yeah, that's what I think.
There we are.
I don't know what time it is. It's about 7 o'clock now,
Oh, yeah.
I think.
It is.
Something like that, 7-ish.
Yeah, 10 minutes past.
So we're just going to carry on. I think the idea is to get this stripped at least, so we know what we're playing it with. Because if we do have a cracked manifold, then we need to order that also.
Yeah, at the moment we're down. We got the gaskets. We just need to get new injector seals.
Yeah.
And that's it so far in the parts list. It's not been too bad.
Yeah, and we haven't had any major disasters or anything, have we? So
Only that vacuum pipe I bust over there,
yeah.
but we can live with that. Oh well.
That's it. So onwards we go. Okay, so it's been quite some time since we spoke. Yeah. Let's go over here first. Yeah. Engine bay destroyed.
Dismantled.
Dismantled. Yeah.
Right, so we got all 8 injectors out now.
Yeah.
Took all the leak-offs off, no problems with any of that. I dropped one of the little clips, which was really funny because it went down the side of the engine bay.
Yeah.
Right, if you ever hear the horror stories of trying to get cylinder 8 injector out, try cylinder 4. Because that's twice as bad. Again, we've had to remove all the sort of like the plastic cowl off the
Yeah.
top of the bulkhead,
Yeah.
and various little bits and bobs. There's a bracket that holds a wiper motor on, and other tackle like that.
Yeah. Quite a few bits like that.
But to get, I don't know if my batteries have gone flat on my torch now, so I'll try it with a headlamp.
Yeah. Try it with a headlamp and pointing.
That bolt there
Come on.
catches on the fuel pipe coming out of the injector, but you have to leave, well, you can't get the injector pipes off, so they have to just stay on there and use them to pull the pipe out, the injector out anyway. But yeah, it catches on there, and
Other people might be able to get their injector pipes off,
if
but
you-
we couldn't.
I suppose if you're lucky, snags on there, hits there, and the injector, you can see I've scratched it a bit, to be fair, sue me. But the injector head hits the side of the bulkhead there, and you really have to work at it. On the back of the engine, there's a couple of brackets you can't see, but in the future, I manipulated this. That's a good word, isn't it? Manipulated this injector out. To get it back in, I'm actually going to fashion up a little bracket to go on there and use the engine hoist to lift up and tip it on the engine mounts so that we can get the injector back in, because otherwise it's going to be a V7.
Yeah. It will be. Several hours later.
It's actually June. Right, we've undone all 469 million bolts that hold this down. We've discovered that those that have like another nut on top for putting brackets on, they have to be fully unwound until, in fact, they wobble in their sockets, because otherwise they are still gripping, no good. Those ones are fine, they just sit inside the grommet. There's bolts all around
All
it.
the way around.
But I've lost my 10mm ratchet spanner. That's gone down inside a heat shield.
Yeah, it's in there somewhere.
That's a job for tomorrow.
Yeah.
This is the moment we've all been waiting for.
Yeah.
Will it come off?
Yeah. This is the side that we think is the worst,
Yeah,
isn't it?
I've had it loose,
Yeah.
but will it actually come off?
Yeah.
Let's have a go.
Let's go.
Nope.
That's your spanner gone down now.
No, it's a bolt at the bottom. That one's still tight, that one's still tight.
Ah,
Half a job.
half a job.
There. If I work harder, I'm allowed a ratchet to go on top of this, aren't I?
Yeah.
I think that's got to be it now.
No, that one is sitting, that one, yeah.
Sorry, these things are just hateful.
Oh, yeah, massively.
Spiteful, horrible. Right, let's have another wiggle. Still fuel lines everywhere and stuff, but
I feel like it's
it's
still those two,
that
yeah.
pain in the...
Still those two, although they're hanging on by a thread, literally.
They hold on to nothing.
Okay, it's this one now, this one, yeah.
This hold on to nothing.
How isn't it? Well, it's sitting there anyway, because that's what the noise is from, yeah. Oops.
Rivet in viewing this.
Yeah. It's just a pain. Mm-mm. 18 hours later. I feel like it's this way. Yeah.
You prefer to type that is.
I know, but that seems to be where it's knocking from. Yeah, so it's,
How can that be catching when it's... Do you know what I mean?
yeah, I think because yeah.
No, I just think that's it. All we've got to do now is try and work out how the hell to get this massive lump.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm going to just disconnect that fuel line.
Yeah.
I'll just spray diesel in my eyes now, just to spite me. And the gasket's left behind. That gasket was knackered.
Yeah. Right. Let's examine.
CSI. Right. We know it's leaking from the bottom. And if you go and look at the engine,
Yeah.
you can see where this is, where you can see, look, somebody's
tried to patch it, have they, or?
Oh, it's affecting my face. I've ruined my complexion now. It looks like somebody's put sealant on it, whether they've put a new gasket on and put sealant on it, or whether they've just squirted sealant on there to try and seal it. Don't know. But
Yeah, let's have a look.
is that a genuine part? I don't think it is.
Well, and what have we learned? If you have any form of Land Rover, you need to have genuine, decent parts. Don't go with the Chinese stuff because you'll only have to do the job again.
Yeah.
So let's have a look over here.
So as you can see down here, look. That's nice and clean like it should be. In fact, I've got a bit of blue roll. I'm going to squander a bit of blue roll here. And you can see the gammy sealant then.
Oh, yeah, I can see it.
And that sealant, I think, is where it stopped it sealing, if that's such a thing. It's
Yeah, can you pick that off? Oh. You see that, like... Or it's melted in, or it's done something.
No, it's silicone, look. It's...
Oh, it is it?
Yeah. Rubbish. So yeah, I'm going to have to go around there now. Once my torch is charged up. Go around that, clean it all up tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then get the new gasket on and seal it in, and hopefully none of this muck will be leaking out all over the place. And we can have a smiley car.
But there's no cracks from what we can tell, is there?
No, but from where they classically crack on the inlet manifolds, that one is clean. But yeah, that one's just a good clean up. That's what it will get. A good clean up. And then I can shave a few more knuckles putting it all back together.
Yeah.
Ooh, this has been fun.
Right. Well, the other side is a job for tomorrow.
Well, I think it's probably reasonable to say that will wait till tomorrow, won't it?
Yeah. Because I think it's about 10 o'clock now, isn't it?
It's 10 o'clock, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Right, we'll see you tomorrow.
Good morning. It's Monday. We found ourselves doing alternative things on Sunday, so didn't get to continue with this, but obviously I am back on this. So we got this side stripped down. Let's get this side stripped down. See where we're at with that. I'm fairly confident that rocker cover there hasn't got any cracks in it. I don't think the other side has, looking at it. So we're going to attack it with that, make sure we can get it nice and clean. I've got new gaskets, I've got new injector seals coming tomorrow. So we're good to go. Let's crack on with it. And that was harder than I anticipated. Notable things. On the end of this rocker cover, there is a solenoid for the vacuum system, which if you ain't careful, as I found out, all the vacuum pipes on this are made of plastic, which is deteriorated. And down this end, I've cunningly put the rocker cover on top of it. Hang on. Can you see? No. Where I'm pointing to there, there's a little valve that comes out of the top of the rocker, well, at the end of the camshaft actually. And you have to take that out as well. There's only two little clips that hold it in. Down this end, there is a bracket for some pipe work attached to the end. You have to remove that. Otherwise, there's all the little bolts, it pops off. Right, now I'm quite glad that I did take that off. As you can see, Van Gogh's been at his work down here with the sealer as well, which is 99% reason it'll leak. Clean up in there, get it all ready to take the new gaskets. And the same around here, get it all cleaned up ready. And tomorrow, well, I can get on and do some reassembly, but tomorrow the new injector seals come, which will be handy, so I can put it all back together then. Well, I had a good cleaning session there. You can see the contents of that. That was some of what came off the rocker covers. So we've put the new filter, it's not a filter, new gasket on here. As you can see, it sits slightly proud, and inside it, there's a couple of like flanges, for want for a better word. As you compress that, they spread apart, they seal it. They don't need more bloody sealant put in on them. Anyway, they're nice and clean. And head over to the Range Rover. We have a nice clean head, all ready to receive that. I've gone round, I've cleaned it, I've wiped it, I've got rid of any residue, any little bits of corrosion, and made it oil free. So I've used a microfiber cloth, covered it in brake cleaner, and gone round where all the mating faces are, cleaned it all so there is no residue on there. So that should seal up when it's all bolted down and not leak. And a few hours on, and we made some progress. We've got both the rocker covers back on, bolted, fastened, torqued down nicely, and yeah, it's a bit of light. So they're back in. I'm waiting now on the delivery of the injector seals so I can put them back in and crack on from there. As far as I remember, this is about as far as I can go until I can put the injectors back in. But we'll have to see. But yeah, it's all going back together nicely. Everything we took out, so like for instance, there, we just put the screws back in when they come out of. Gives us a better idea of what goes where when it goes back. Right, today we're back and Posty's been and dropped off the injector seals, which is a right result. And you'll notice a vast improvement on video quality from yesterday because Lisa's using the right camera and I was.
Guess who's back?
Ooh,
Back
copyright.
again. Yeah. Right.
Yes. So we've got injector seals, you've got the body seal, you've got the base seal, and you've got the leak-off seal. They've probably got proper names, that's what I call them. Mm-hmm. That one seals it to stop all the crap going down past the injector into the bottom of the hole and then making a mess. That seals the actual injector to the cylinder head.
Yeah, it's like the crush, isn't it?
Yeah, it is copper crush washer, you're quite right.
Yeah.
And then that little tiny one is the leak-off pipes, which return fuel, unused fuel, back to the fuel system. And we've got to change all them on all 8 injectors before putting them in because I don't want any leaks.
Yeah, and you know, you don't want to have to do this job again unnecessarily, do you?
No.
So
It's not the worst job in the world, but it's a horrible job.
Yeah, you have to take a lot off, don't you, to get to this point. And yeah, I mean, cleaned all these up, got decorked them and what have you. Put the crush thingies on.
Washers.
Yeah, crush washers on. Number 4 isn't there. Why isn't number 4 in there, Mark?
I've thrown it away because it's a pig of a job.
Yeah. Let's have a look over here.
2 hands.
So, I would say, and I think Mark will agree, number 4 is the worst one.
It's the devil's butt, isn't it?
Yeah. I know number 8 isn't great over there, but number 4, that's on its own, that one.
Yeah,
He was sent to try you, wasn't he?
it was.
Horrible job. I can't remember. You was going to explain how you got that in there, because it's probably beneficial to others.
Yeah, we've jacked it up on the bottom of the engine mount, lifted the engine as high as it will possibly go while still on the engine mount, just taking the weight off of it. Put the injector in where it should be, found out that it still wouldn't fit, and then carefully manipulated it by using a pry bar and making the engine go a little bit further on the engine mount than what it already was.
Yeah.
We did contemplate taking the solenoid off the top
Yeah.
to make it shorter, in which case it would have fitted in a piece of cake. We did actually take the feed pipe off,
Yeah.
which kind of regretting doing, but there we are. So now it's a matter of just building it back up. Injectors
Yeah.
in line, bleed offs
Yeah.
on, and
I think we're going to go over and do number 8 now, aren't we? Just to get the worst
get
out
the
of the way.
2 pigs out of the way, and then away we can go, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping number 8 will be a piece of cake comparison with this one. Is that famous last what?
Yeah. We'll let you know in 10 minutes.
Should be on stage.
I know.
Anyway, shall I crack on with this?
Yeah, I think so.
There we are.
See you in a bit. So.
Yeah. So, right.
We have, well, I say we, Martin has done,
Am I in trouble?
yeah, I never call him Martin, I don't know why I did, Mart. We've got these in, no joke, I'm going to be honest. We bought new washers and
Yeah, whole seal kit
a whole seal kit.
for the injectors.
And I'm going to say it wasn't the best.
It had issues, didn't it? I mean, it'd be tight.
Oh God, it's tight. But the crush washers, they just not staying on.
No,
were they?
the original ones,
Yeah.
those are slightly tiny little barbs on the inside of them. So when they slide them down the injector, they nip in and hold themselves on. And the replacement ones, they kind of didn't.
No.
So when you slid them on there, they just sort of flopped around and then fell back off.
Yeah. And there was a number of times when we had to pull the injector back out and make sure it was all seated properly and then put the injector back in again.
We giggled and laughed. Yeah.
There were some words. I can't video those sorts of things because we'll be banned from YouTube. So I have to spare everyone the language. But I was entrusted with the torch. That's a very big job, as we know. You know, I don't know, were any of you like, as a kid, the torch holder when your dad used to fix the car on the driveway? Yeah. The abuse you get doing that job.
Is it some sort of PTSD or childhood trauma coming out here?
No, my dad never did. He sent his stuff to the garage because we didn't have a drive. But I know about it.
You'd be amazed at what some of the stuff my dad done, actually.
Yeah.
Including, whilst on holiday in the Isle of Wight, head gasket went on a V4 Transit. And in a lay-by with 4 kids, his father-in-law, like my grandfather, mum and dad, all camping in a transit van. And he changed the gasket on the side of the road. Straight up.
How long did it take him?
I think he'd done it. He got the part. He diagnosed it one night, got the parts for the next day.
Had to get them the next day. Yeah.
Yeah, and done it the next day.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was about 3 at the time, so just guessing.
Yeah. Well, your dad was quite mechanically. He is quite mechanically minded, isn't he?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. My dad, no.
Yeah.
My dad just paid people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Different people.
Yeah. So what are we doing now? Yeah, we're cleaning up these injector bolts.
Yeah, because they're going to be fun, so I'm just going to use a little bit of Vaseline on the top of each one so it grips into the ratchet bar.
Yeah.
and then I can pop them in there, and we'll have no more repeats of that language you taught me.
They've been soaking in this brake cleaner, haven't they?
They have. There's the next batch for the offside, look.
Yeah,
Nice and shiny.
lovely. And with 3 injectors left. So what I should say is we have, I can't remember if I've already said this, which I probably have, but number 4 is in. We did that one first, terrible, and then we went over to number 8, and then we've done 7, 6, and 5. So we're gonna, once he's put the bolts in over there, we'll put the injectors in on that side. And that's it.
That's it.
That's it. That'll be done in 10 minutes, won't it?
Yeah. What is it now?
I don't know what the drama is.
4 o'clock. We'll be in the pub for 5.
Right.
Yes. There we are.
All of the injectors are back in. All of the
Leak-off pipes.
leak-off pipes have been put back in.
Or the little Jesus clips.
Yes. Even if we did have to go looking for...
Every single one of them several times.
Yeah, one of them pinged off, and I'm not kidding you. Well,
It was
I think it went to oblivion and back.
stratospheric, wouldn't it?
And stratospheric.
But
Yeah.
that is the beauty of being here, because we found it.
Yeah.
If it was in the farm, you'd never
We'd
have found
never
that.
found it, would we?
As you've just looked up the price of replacements, I'm quite glad we found it.
Yeah, I'm very glad.
Little tiny spring clips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to this. So, yeah, we've gotten all of the injectors back in. They're all seated nicely. It's all reconnected. So now, we're going to put...
The spatchcock.
Yeah, the spatchcock back on.
Connect up a few vacuum hoses, a few electrical connectors.
We've got this down here. Oh, that's
A
good.
couple of EGRs.
Yeah. So I don't know if are we doing this now or...
Yeah,
Yeah,
crack on.
we're going to crack on. Okay, so as you can see, a lot of this now has been put back together. Looking at everything, I don't think there's any clips we've missed so far, is there?
No.
I'm sure you eagle-eyed people might be able to tell us, but if you do, it's already been done.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it looks like we're all back together, doesn't it, for the most part?
Yeah, I think everything's plugged in like it should be.
Yeah. Obviously, some pipes aren't connected yet, we know that, but
Yeah, there's like fuel pump,
Yeah.
fuel filter.
yeah. We're just sort of like working our way over there, aren't we?
Yeah. Going around just double checking everything, and
Yeah.
it's all looking pretty reasonable.
Excellent. Be back in a bit. We're back, and everything has been built back together, and we have started it. Everything is fine. No warning lights.
It drove fine, didn't it?
Yeah.
It wound it over for a bit, prime it, and it fired straight up and ran pretty much normally.
I do have a video of us starting it for the first time, so that'll be on.
Yeah.
We'll insert it somewhere. It's on my phone, so.
Yeah, it all went back together nicely. And there wasn't any dramas, was there?
No.
We got the wrong fuel filter, so I'll have to change that.
Yeah, we were sent the wrong fuel filter, so we've had to put the old one back on for now.
Well, we didn't take it off, luckily. So,
Well, yeah, it came off, but...
So the only thing I've got left to do is I've got to put the under trays back on, but before I do that, I'm going to put it on the lift because I want to have a good wipe round and clean up of all what has leaked.
Yeah, because it turns out we did have quite a significant leak, didn't we, when...
That manifold was really bad.
Which one?
That rocker cover on the near side, passenger side, that was bad. This side had just started to go.
Yeah.
But that side also had gone, it was starting to dribble in to the engine.
It was, yes.
I'm not entirely sure, 100%, but I think it was going through the EGR valve. So it was done in good time.
Yeah, it was definitely needed,
I think if we'd left it a lot longer, it might start damaging the cats or, you know, just...
Yeah.
So our learned things for the day, it's actually been quite boring, hasn't it? We put it all back together, no real major surprises or dramas.
Which is good because we like boring in that context, don't we?
Yeah, and...
I guess to summarise, how bad of a job would you say it is?
It's not a bad job. The two things I would say if I were to do it again is, if you've got a gap IID, like I have, I would set the suspension to bump stops.
Yeah.
Because I've got bruises on my ribs from leaning over the top of this all the time, because in access mode it's just a bit too high because I'm stumpy. And apart from that, it's laborious, isn't it? It's just lots of undoing of things and unclipping of things. And then the other thing is when it comes to doing injectors 4 and 8,
that's the hard.
One's right at this end.
Yeah, number 4, the worst.
As everybody else has suggested, and it is pretty much the only way, is to jack the vehicle up, put like an extension bar or a jemmy bar or anything like that under the engine mount, where the engine mount is on that side of the engine, and lower the jack gently, and you will twist the engine just enough to get it in there. Don't bother messing about taking fuel pipes off. Don't need to do it. Don't split the injector. Don't need to do it.
No.
That's my thought for the day. Thought for the day.
Mm-hmm.
And be always, the other thing is to be very, very cautious with the vacuum hoses like these ones, because they, over time, become incredibly brittle, and brittle's not good when they snap. It causes all manner of problems.
Yeah.
But other than that, my next...
How many hours do you think it took us?
Unnecessarily, it took us lots of hours. I would say it's probably
like
6 to 8 hour job.
Yeah, but it took us about 10, didn't it?
But in fairness, we did it blindfolded as we went, to be completely honest.
Never done it before.
No. We probably did more than we needed to.
Yeah. We probably did take off more than you need to.
Yeah.
And you probably will see that in part of the video, and I'm sure if you've done it before, a lot of you will probably be shouting at the screen, you don't need to take that off. But, we chose to, mainly because of accessibility and just not to damage anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But next thing I want to do is I want to go back on the internet now, so I want to find an engine cover, because when we bought it didn't have one, and it just looks scruffy.
Yeah.
Maybe the battery cover and brake fluid cover as well.
Yeah.
When I feel like spending money unnecessarily.
Yeah, other than that, it's done and dusted. Next, gearbox service. So that's us for this video.
Thank you very much.
We've wrapped up.
Hopefully it helps somebody.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably going to be quite a long video.
Yeah.
It just is that way. It's quite a long job, really.
Yeah. But hopefully if somebody's doing this and they get stuck, they might be able to just pick up on some of what we've done, and then it might be helpful.
Hopefully.
Who knows?
So
I'm going to go put my torch on charge now.
Yeah. That's us done on this job, but we'll be back with a gearbox change.